Good evening, Kenya. Welcome to Point of View. I'm your host, Linda Kruger. Now, your business and yourself as a person has the ongoing task of establishing yourself and itself as a brand. Today, we'll be looking at public image. Keep it Point of View. Welcome back to the show. Today in studio with me is Bbanga from Public Image Africa. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Linda.
All right, today we're talking about all things public image. And I remember telling you that I find it such a broad area. What exactly does it encompass?
Well, we go out as an organization and work with a wide range of clients, helping them to be, I'm going to put it in an easy way, be seen, be heard, and be remembered for the right reasons. Your public image is what people see when you step out of the door into what I call the real world. What your target market sees, for example, if you're working in a professional environment, if you're a teacher or a professor, what your students will see. If you're a politician, what voters. So it's really about how you are, again, perceived by your target market. And that target market obviously changes depending on the type of profession you do and the type of industry that you're in.
Indeed. Now, as Africans and as the African continent, we're pretty diverse in our culture. And in your tenure, in your career, what exactly do you think, where is Kenya's public image?
All right. When I start, let me just sort of backtrack. When I started doing this in Kenya, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I'm going to use an example of an existing client. Of course, I'm going to keep their name confidential. He started out by saying, Derek, you know, I don't know if we really need this. Maybe some of these things we already know, but I don't know if there's a market for it. Fast forward 5 years to last year. This client came to me and said, Derek, you must come and train every member of staff of our organization. This is the way of the world, Linda. This is where everybody is going. It is about being seen, heard, remembered by your target market. We're in a hyper-competitive world. Whether you're a young man or woman who's just graduated from college and is looking to get the job of their dreams, whether you're that manager who has reached a particular level in an organization and is now looking to break into senior management, whether you're an athlete representing our country, Kenya, you have just run a race and you have won, and the eyes of the world are on you. Every camera and every microphone has been put next to you. What are you going to say? So it's important that people start making this a priority. Now, whether it's in terms of dress or communication or body language, these are all areas that are addressed. So to come back to your question, yes, Africa is moving that way. This is, we've reached a tipping point here.
Indeed.
Companies, organizations, people will get their technical training, fantastic. Academically, they're qualified, good for you. These soft skills are the ones that are now going to propel you, hopefully, to the success that people deserve.
Indeed. You've highlighted that it's a tough area to sell, especially to the Kenyan and the African market. How do you do it?
Oh, we have a wide range of ways that we market and sell. I mean, doing media appearances like this. What has happened, let me tell you, Linda, is that in the last 2 or 3 years, most of my business has come from referrals. You do a great job with somebody, somebody says, wow, you're looking different today. What did you do? You were walking with a spring in your step. You look literally like the CEO of your career and your destiny. They then say, hey, we worked with that fantastic team from Public Image and Derek and my colleagues and Angela. And so a lot of our business has come from referrals. I wouldn't say it's a tough sell. I think what it is the perception of the value. Indeed. So some people will say, well, okay, yeah, I'd love to improve my public image. I'd love to be able to communicate a little better with my target market. How much is this going to cost me? So it's about really people seeing that this is a worthwhile investment in themselves. We were talking about this earlier. I mean, in the West and in more developed countries, people don't even question it. You reach a certain level in your career, investing in the services of somebody who is in my business, and I call it strategic communication, image consulting, communications consultant, is standard.
Break it down for us, Derek. How expensive is it vis-a-vis the long-term advantages that come with it? If I'm looking to go into it, what do I need?
I don't want to give specific numbers, but the ROI is immeasurable. I always ask people when they come back to me and say, how much is it going to cost? How much is it worth for you to get the job of your dreams?
All right.
To court the woman or the man. I mean, I talk about some of these things even in socially. To, you know, get the person who you think is going to become your partner. How much is that worth to you? How much would you invest if this was going to help you achieve your goals? You do the math and then you come back to me
let it go.
This is how much this is worth.
Okay.
So really it's that. But, you know, to be honest with you, the programs that I run fit within the budgets of most of my clients. And my clients, as I've mentioned, alluded to, they range the gamut. You have students, you have professionals, you have, you know, different sorts of people. So it's really about working within people's budget.
Indeed, indeed, and looking at the long-term goals in the end
Sure.
from the client's end. Now, in one of your interviews, you've highlighted the significance and the importance of business etiquette and protocol. For the ordinary Mwananchi down there, break it down for us.
Okay, so business etiquette and protocol is really about the rules and regulations that govern that particular environment.
Okay.
All right. So, you know, we have etiquette in all areas. There's etiquette on the golf course. There's etiquette in the bathroom. There's etiquette when it comes to eating, you know, food, dining in certain areas. So it's really about, in an office or professional environment, what are the sort of the ways that we behave in that environment so that we are not in conflict with our colleagues, and that we're able to achieve the greater goal of the organization. So this may range anything from maybe some basic communication skills, maybe a little bit of networking. With the advent of technology, I talk a lot about things like social media, email, mobile phone etiquette. I mean, that thing has taken over our lives.
Indeed.
I spend a lot of time talking about how this device should help you. It shouldn't control you. But, you know, we're all fixated on
Out of curiosity,
yes.
what entails mobile etiquette? I mean, I'm curious.
I'll give you a couple of examples, mobile phone etiquette. If you're in front of a client, somebody who's, you know, somebody who's, I won't say important, but somebody who you're having a conversation with in a business environment, you know, that phone is not going to help you. And if I keep looking at my phone to check whether, you know, there's my tweet has gone through, then the image I'm giving to that particular person that I'm, say, doing business with is that they're not important. The most important person in that conversation is the person sitting across you, not the person on the phone. So that's just a basic rule. I always tell people, put that phone away. That phone does not need to be seen 24/7. Of course, there are exceptions to every rule, but that's an example of mobile phone etiquette.
Okay.
If I'm on the phone, I'm in a public arena, I'm in a matatu, nobody needs to know my entire family history from Thika to town. That's just, why do they need to know that? There's a particular voice I can use. I can tell somebody, listen, I'll call you back.
Yeah.
Unless you're a heart surgeon or or the president of the, nothing is that important that you need to have that conversation there. So we need to start thinking about how our use of these devices is hampering us. You know, God created man, man created the mobile phone. The mobile phone made man mad. That mobile phone is supposed to help us. And studies have been done how this is interfering with the way we were really created by God. Interaction is done like this, eye contact, face to face, not through the phone.
Yes. All right. Now, tell us a little bit more about Public Image Africa.
Sure.
When it was founded and what exactly do you guys do? And out there in the industry, is there more of you or is it a monopoly? Tell us a little bit more.
Is it a monopoly? I like that question. No, we're not a monopoly. I mean, this is an area, as I said, is growing. So there are definitely a number of people, certainly here in Kenya, who are doing this and across Africa. But Public Image, in its original form, was founded back in the 80s. I had a business partner in the UK who, her first clients were, guess who? Members of Parliament.
Cameras,
in the UK, cameras were just being introduced into Parliament. And so now people could see their MPs debating what they dressed, how they spoke. And so these MPs went out and said, hey, we need a little bit of training in terms of our communication skills. Now our voters can see that. It's not just about reading about it in the newspaper. So that was back in the 80s. Now fast forward to maybe 4 years ago is where I started, in conjunction with some of my business partners, Public Image, bringing some of those skills and bring them here to a Kenyan audience or a Kenyan market, if you will.
All right.
So in 4 years, we've worked with a number of organizations, whether it's in telecoms, banking, insurance, I've mentioned some, in politics, athletes. We span the gamut. And really, it's about helping people. So our clients will come to us and say, hey, Derek, we, as an organization, sponsor golf tournaments.
Okay.
All right. So we spend X amount of shillings, millions of shillings, actually. We have our staff go to this golf tournament, but all they do is sit in the corner, talk to each other, and hammer the free drinks. And we're spending millions of shillings. How can you help us make sure that we're getting the most value for spending money on sponsoring a golf tournament? So I'd come in and I'd train the staff on networking skills, on soft skills, on meeting and greeting skills. That's just an example of a program. And we've even extended this to things like customer service, sales. We now work in conjunction with our sister organization called Excel Marketing, where we do some of these things. We even do team building. So we do image, we do dress, we do public speaking, presentation skills, networking, business etiquette, dining etiquette, all of this area that occupies soft skills. Emotional intelligence, that's an area we started doing last year.
Interesting.
Yes.
All right, wonderful. Let's talk a little bit more about that after we take this short break.
Okay.
Keep it Point of View.